Hey guys, what's going on? So before I take my month-long silence from talking on YouTube, I thought I'd do a video, and so I feel like a lot of people started sleeping on Blooming Dash Blade Dancer, including myself, as a big person promoter for Blooming Dash Blade Dancer, and I think A-Friend Gaming released a video, and I think Godlike Mike might have as well. But I just decided to try it again, and I was trying to determine how many matches in a row I would have to win in order to make a video. And apparently this is the number. A lot. Just over and over and over. I think it's like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 7 battles in a row, and I just won them all. Some of them, like, people just auto quit to me. But some of them, like, it just kept going, and I just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And Phantom mode is a mode where if you can't start strong, you will not finish strong. Like, you can't do late game advantage, because even if you try for the deck of quote unquote late game advantage, your opponent will be gaining so much early game mana advantage that he will also have late game advantage, and it'll just even out. And so you have to have something that works really well in the beginning of the game, and it can output damage very quickly, so that you're winning the early Phantom bosses, but then that something that also it works late game, because the game continues and you have a stacking, kind of system. And Blooming Dash obviously has that because of Blooming Dash. This is what I'm running, is Blooming Dash, Elegant Parry, Serrated Blades. It's all of the standard things. Motherload, New Forces is so fun. New Forces is like, when you start popping off, it goes crazy. And something to note about New Forces, when I first got it, I thought that you didn't need an extra slot, and you do. For as many times as I've played this, and as many times as I've filled up the board other than the one square, if you don't have a second square, you will not get your the one that goes into the hole. It pops out a little bit earlier than when it goes in. So if the animation were it goes in, has a 40% chance of appearing again, then you could leave just the one spot. But because that's not how it works, you do have to you have to have 2 spots available when one goes in, when one goes in the hole, in order to have the 40% chance of another one popping up in another square. Because you will have 2 on the field at the exact same time, even though one is going into the hole. It's weird, but yeah, you can't just leave one square open. You have to have 2 squares in order for New Forces to work. But when you do have the 2 squares, and it starts popping off, it goes crazy. Mariachi, Lucky Shot, High Charisma. High Charisma is obviously the bread and butter of this entire deck. Scrap 'em All, Promotion, Acrid Waste. And then, for the most part, I think I might have switched it, but I'm pretty sure this was my setup. It was Hunter's Jacket, Sword, because you need the extra attack speed. The only reason why I'm running Hunter's Jacket is because I do actually have a Forest Faction Sword, and obviously the Forest Faction... I'm running an Amulet of Growth. Amulet of Growth, and then because I don't have a Mage Robe or Chainmail set to Forest Faction, I could run a Mage Robe that still has a Forest Faction, but I do have a Forest Faction main Hunter's Jacket, so that I can get 10% off of the Night Sword and the Amulet of Growth. I'm going to show you 2 matches, and I have a reason for showing you both. This robot match, when I first started this, I didn't have a strategy. And I'm going to show you the difference in having a strategy and not having a strategy. And what I mean by not having a strategy is I just have stuff on the field. That's literally it. I just have things on the field. I have this deck. I am utilizing gold tiles. I'm trying to have 3 three Blade Dancers on the three growth tiles, and then I'm using obviously this witched growth tile as my ditch square in order to maintain stacks. But I have no strategy beyond that. I have the two spots for the kobolds. Obviously, one of them is in a bad spot right now, I believe. Oh no, they're both good. Both of those are good spots right there. In terms of this game and my no strategy, they're not on growth tiles, and that's all I needed them to be. Always try to merge onto growth tiles, and don't just utilize your scrapper and your rank down, because that takes a very long time. And so if you have the ability to put something on a growth tile and then merge onto it, and then use a level 2 scrapper and then eat it, and then merge that down, and then go back up, and then, move the thing off, and then put another level 1 thing on there, and then merge onto the growth tile, and then, level 2 it, and then merge it down, and then merge it up. Like, the flow of that is so much, it's so much better in gaining growth tile stacks than just, oh, I'm gonna put a level 2 on here, and then I'm gonna merge it down, and I'm gonna wait. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna merge up on it, and then I'm gonna merge it down, and then I'm gonna wait. And like, if you just keep waiting for your scrapper to go off of the cooldown and to keep utilizing it just singly, it's gonna take you forever, and you're gonna find yourself like really late into the game, and you'll only have like 30-40 stacks. So always try to merge off of the growth tile, or move things off of the growth tile, move a level 1 thing on it, merge onto it, and you'll get better growth tile stacks much quicker. But I have no strategy here. I'm just moving Blade Dancers, I'm summoning in, I think I utilized this square that's forming right here around the two kobolds squares, and then, but beyond that, it's just kind of, that's it. I don't even know if I'm counting my Blade Dancers right here. I should be moving, there we go, I should be moving those two. But this, and this works, and in this battle, this no strategy, it kind of works. I mean, it's strong. This showcases how strong Blade Dancer is in this format. I have like 12 stacks, which isn't even a lot, but I have 172% on my kobolds. It's so easy to build up. It's so incredibly easy to build kobold stacks. And one of Blade Dancer's main problems was always damage. It was always like base damage. Night Statue, having a Night Statue in this deck, because obviously I ran Night Statue for a very long time. At a certain point, you just need damage, and that's the reason why I'm not even running Spear. I could be running Spear, and I'm running a sword because Blade Dancer, it has enough attack speed, and with the 15% on the high charisma, like you're gaining even more attack speed, and that's all you really need. Blade Dancer is very efficient on attack speed. You just need base damage. But yeah, like, I'm gonna let this play out. There's nothing special for me to say about this, and I don't know, I'll pop in and out, but if there's something to talk about, but this is very self-explanatory. So I'm just gonna let you watch this. See right there, I only had the one square available on the kobold, and so I have no opportunity for a second one to pop up. When I used the kobold ability, I think that was a misclick. I'm pretty sure I didn't mean to move the tile. I think I had a pretty good placement on my tile, and now I have to make sure that that is empty. I have to make sure that that square is empty, and I'm still not doing it. It's really bad. This entire version of like trying to play it like this is what I mean by I have no strategy. I'm just moving things onto gold tiles, and that's it. I know that you're probably looking at this like, yeah, it's still a strategy. I'm telling you right now, I have no idea what I'm doing in this gameplay. I'm putting things on tiles, and I'm attempting to move things in smart places, but I have no strategy. And you're gonna see an obvious difference in gameplay in this next video. Actually, you know what? I'm almost thinking about like exiting this video right now. I think I might, you know, I might as well just do that. This goes on for a little while, and it basically just ends like this. I win every single wave, and he eventually just loses. That was me with zero strategy. And I wanted to see what it would be like if I actually tried. And I was like, if I win this, I'll make a video. And I won this. The best way to utilize a Blooming Dash Blade Dancer deck is the double T setup, because you're able to utilize the two centers, where you have a Blade Dancer in the center, and then you have the ability to just double switch them, and then you're giving your entire Blade Dancer field not only activation, but you're giving them all the 15% boost for high charisma, and then you're cleansing everything with Elegant Parry. You have the 50% chance of cleansing everything with Elegant Parry. I'm gonna speed through this, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I need to build out this field a little bit. And then you'll start to see like the flow that I'm going for in this. Right now, yeah, this is these two spots in the so going from top to bottom, all the squares, it goes A, B, C. Going from left to right, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the A3 spot and in the C5 spot are my two kobold tiles. Those tiles are anything outside of the double T. Those are where you want your kobold tiles to be. You can do it with just one, but you want to do it with, if like in a perfect world, if you just keep pressing the kobold button, you want them to be outside of your double T setup so that you can leave the two spots open, so that you can get your kobolds going. And so I have a perfect kobold setup here, and then I'm just going to speed through this. Trappers you don't want to leave on the field until later. And if you do decide to leave them on the field, you can absorb the scrapper hits on your trappers with your gunslinger, and then you can raise your gunslinger like that. This sounds about right. So now you'll start to see like how this starts to flow here. Kobold, kobold. Eventually, I do push my 2 trappers to the left side of the field so that it's closer to the gate, and it's just out of my way. I was utilizing the A5 spot because it's on a growth tile, obviously. Eventually, I ditched that and I just set up the regular double T setup, and I lose out on a different square. I lose out on another square, but then I realize that I should just be utilizing that A5 spot as my ditch tile for my scrapper merges. I don't know why it didn't occur to me until much later in the game. I could actually use that C5 spot as well. This is just an unfortunate kind of setup. Not having, or what's it called? Not having the growth tiles in better spots. I could be using Amulet of Swiftness. That's probably an option. I think I after this video and after, you know, me uploading all this, I think I'm going to switch to Amulet of Swiftness. I'm utilizing so many Blade Dancers that Amulet of Swiftness is probably at this point better. And then it's just permanent, and then you just get permanent boost, and you don't have to keep pumping a growth tile for, you know, in the case that you have 3 growth tiles on the same side, and then it's just very awkward placement. So then you're pumping up a growth tile that you're not even using. Even beyond that, though, I feel like you can start to see what this actual setup is, and I think I am going to switch to Amulet of Swiftness after this. This is the amount of damage that this has the ability to pump out, and it's fast. It's fast and it's very strong. And it just gets better, as you can see, over the course of the game. Right here, it's Kobold, Kobold, Kobold. You get so many free hits. You're utilizing so much mana in this deck because you're scrappering everything, but you're also utilizing so much mana because every single time you summon in a Kobold, it's just disappearing. And then you need to summon it again in order to keep getting scrapper hits. This is my endgame setup. Just this double T setup, the double left trappers, and then I have all of my my Kobold spots. You only need 2 trappers as well. I'm actually gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna use that as my thumbnail. I could obviously like wait until after this video and do a thumbnail professionally, or I can just tell you that that's what I'm doing here and just make it a joke. And I'd rather just make it a joke as opposed to speeding through this video to wave 10 again. Just so I can grab a thumbnail. $107 Kobold stacks. Right here I get a Kobold. Oh, I don't get the second one. I get 1, but I don't have the extra spot available, and so I don't have the ability to get more. I just sent him a 15 billion boss. Kobold, Kobold, Kobold. This deck is just so efficient at gaining stacks, cleansing the field, being able to utilize a gadget. It's so quick in attacking so that it makes it good for early game Phantom mode. It's just... I've always loved Blade Dancer, and I can't believe it's still this good. I get Tribunal there, and it really doesn't matter. What's funny is I'm at 61 stacks right now, and I remember in Death Waves, if you were at like less than 80, 90 stacks, you would probably lose. And you had to have so much more damage than that in order to have a good game. And right now, I'm at like 61 stacks, and I just feel like I'm winning so hard right now. Like, I'm at 36% mana. Like, it just feels like this right now. I just feel like I'm on top of the world here. And in Death Waves, I never would have felt like that. $27 billion, boss. That's the difference between strategy and no strategy. You can win a number of games utilizing good cards and, you know, a lot of crit, and just having, you know, just doing stuff. But if you have an active strategy, if you have a specific reason for doing all the things that you're doing, you'll do just infinitely better. And it'll also feel better. It'll also feel just easier. Because that's pretty easy as opposed to whatever I was doing in that other game. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next video.